What is the cloud and where is the cloud? These are questions you've probably heard or even asked yourself. The term cloud computing is everywhere. Cloud computing means storing and accessing data and program over the internet instead of your computer's hard drive. The cloud is just a metaphor for the internet. What cloud computing is not about is your hard drive. When you store data or run programs from the hard drive, that's called local storage and computing. Everything you need is physically close to you, which means accessing your data is fast and easy for that one computer or others on the local network. For it to be considered cloud computing, you need to access your data or your programs over the internet, or at the very least, have that data synchronized with other information over the web. In a big business, you may know all there is to know about what's on the other side of the connection. As an individual user, you may never have any idea what kind of massive data processing is happening on the other end. The end result is the same. With an online connection, cloud computing can be done anywhere, anytime. The lines between local computing and cloud computing sometimes get very blurry. That's because the cloud is part of almost everything on our computers these days. You can easily have a local piece of software that utilizes a form of cloud computing for storage. Some common cloud examples would be Office 365, OneDrive, iCloud, and Google Drive. Microsoft also offers a set of web apps, now called Office Online, that are online-only versions of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and OneNote, accessed via your web browser without installing anything. That makes them a version of cloud computing. Google Drive is a pure cloud computing service with all the storage found online, so it can work with cloud apps such as Google Documents, Google Sheets, and Google Slides. Drive is also available on more than just desktop computers. You can use it on tablets like the iPad or smartphones, and there are separate apps for documents and sheets as well. In fact, most of Google's services could be considered cloud computing. Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Maps, and so on are all examples of cloud computing. Apple's iCloud service is primarily used for online storage, backup, and synchronization of your mail, contacts, calendar, and more. All the data you need is available to you on your iOS and Mac OS. Spotify and Pandora are two more examples of cloud computing because your music is stored in the cloud, not on your device. Many people don't realize that despite being held in the cloud, your data still needs to be physically stored on a device somewhere. These places are often called server farms and are essentially vast warehouses filled with servers which are running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. In terms of where your data is stored, it is fairly safe to say that you will never truly know. The provider may be based in the US, but their servers might be in China, or the UK, or anywhere else in the world. Many companies outsource their server farms to satellite locations in order to reduce cost, so it is very difficult to know where your data actually resides, and the cloud provider may not necessarily disclose this information. Who has access to your data is another point to consider. Reputable companies have tried and tested security systems to ensure that only you have access to your data. There are faceless companies out there offering the same amount of storage and functionality. Whether you choose to trust them or not is an important decision. You should find out about safeguards which are in place to keep your data secure and always accessible. Most reputable cloud storage providers will replicate your data several times on different servers to ensure that in the event of a catastrophe, your files are safe. This is not to say that your data will ever be 100% safe. Natural disasters, fires, and malicious damage are all examples of events which can be planned for, but not necessarily avoided. In closing, there is one point to remember. Although your data is not physically stored on your local hard drive, it is still stored somewhere, and with this in mind, it may still be susceptible to the same failures and problems as the hard drive in your laptop or PC. Server farms are not invincible. Storage media can fail. Large corporations can get hacked, and data can get deleted just as easily on a server as it can on your computer. So be wary of storing all of your important and confidential files in the cloud. Thank you for watching.